Want top coverage of England's finest?
Chelsea have been beaten for the first time this season after losing 2-0 at Aston Villa.
Then Sky Sports on Fox Sports World Canada has your fix. Doyle has scored! The complete story of all the domestic leagues, plus Champions League, FA Cup, and international fixtures.
And the latest on the big story linking Chelsea with Ronaldinho.
All the info, stories, and stats to keep you ahead of the game.
Steven Gerrard is out of Liverpool's Champions League qualifier.
Sky Sports and the Fox Soccer Report, weeknights on Fox Sports World Canada.
This television station is a member of the Canadian Broadcast Council. The Council plays a special role in Canadian broadcasting by assisting in the application of specific broadcast standards and providing recourse for members of the public. These standards include our statement of principles and practices related to cross-media ownership. We welcome your feedback on matters related to our programming. You may reach us at 1-877-307-1999 or contact the Council at Post Office Box 3265 Station D, Ottawa, Ontario, K1P 6H8.
The excitement. Unprecedented. The action. Unbelievable. The popularity. Unstoppable. Fox Sports World Canada brings you the world's most watched game. That's the cry heard by millions of soccer fans all over the world. Get your game with Fox Sports World Canada. Live matches from South America, Asia, and Europe. And witness the phenomenon as soccer takes hold here at home. Plus, daily coverage of the world's top plays with Fox Soccer Report. Fox Sports World Canada brings the world's game home.
Singer.
Songwriter.
Guitar player.
Soprano. Jazz.
Words.
Rhythm.
Musician.
Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome, in cabaret, au cabaret, Can West Cabaret. Whether you are a fan of jazz, poetry, Afrobeat, classical music, belly dancing, musical theater, contemporary dance, Leonard Cohen, fado, a cappella choirs, Kurt Weill, Celtic fiddling, great Canadian singer-songwriters, piano virtuosity, or Duke Ellington, you are in the right place at the right time.
To be here in my own backyard is really gratifying because you're part of a scene, and you're part of, a scene sounds pretentious perhaps, but it really is. It's a community of artists, and an event like this is interdisciplinary. There's so many people from different backgrounds, whether it's multicultural music, it's jazz, it's classical, it's pop, whatever else. It's nice to see all those people come into one place.
I almost cried on the day my country died. I almost tried to care.
I get to play my own solo gig, but then I get to jam out with them in public.
Guys, in Boston, we now move to British Columbia, Vancouver, for the 2009 USL One Championship game. Vancouver Whitecaps and the Montreal Impact. I'm Steve Bell. We'll be joined by Paul Dolan and John Billings for the goal. That's coming up next.
Leonardo Di Lorenzo. Midfielder number 23, Stephen Giroux.
We are in Vancouver, and the crowd is ready for what should be a very entertaining championship series. This is game one of the two-game series. Vancouver Whitecaps, the number 7 seeded team against the Montreal Impact, number 5 seeded team for the championship game. Hi, everybody. I am Steve Bell. 2 months ago, if someone would have told you these would be the two teams in the championship game, well, we'd be very surprised to find out that they would be here tonight, but they are playing their best soccer right now. They've hit their form, and they're playing it when it matters most. It's the 5 seed and the 7 seed in the championship. Let's look at how they got here. Portland, the regular season champion, advanced to the semis, and there's the two Canadian teams, Vancouver and Montreal, joining Puerto Rico in the semis. And more upsets in the semifinal round as Vancouver and Montreal were able to knock out Portland and Puerto Rico to advance this first ever all-Canadian final. Joined by my partner, Paul Dolan, and forget about the seeds, Paul. These are the two teams that are playing the best soccer right now.
Well, you mentioned, Steve, the Whitecaps were the last team to qualify for the playoffs as a number 7 seed, but they've peaked at the right time. They've only lost once in the last 14 games, and that was to Montreal earlier in the season. They've really tightened things up defensively, and they're scoring bunches of goals. You see there Martin Nash scoring last week against Portland in the semifinal, and then Marlon James securing it for them. So the Whitecaps coming together when they needed to most, hoping to get into their third final in four years. And for the Impact, well, they came from behind in the game in Puerto Rico. That's a Josh Hansen penalty kick there. You talk about a hot team in Montreal as well. They've only lost once in the last 12 games, and they're a team that likes to score at home and away. So it should be a good one tonight.
Really unpredictable road for both of these teams getting in the championship game, but Paul, we've seen that before. The number 1 seed doesn't always make it to the championship game, do they?
No, and this is a good example of that. You got the two teams coming together at the right time, so we'll see how that works out.
You look at these two teams, and obviously this is the first time ever in the USL 1 final. It will be a 2-leg series, 47th meeting between these two teams. When you play together that many times, there's bound to be rivalry. For more on that, let's send it down to John Billings on the sideline.
Hey, a championship atmosphere down here, guys. Sold-out stadium at Swangard, just under 6,000, and 3/4 of the pitch has fans right up against the touchline. It's an exciting thing here. And hey, one more thing to add to that is a week away, twice as many fans or more expected at El Stade Saputo Stadium in Montreal.
Thanks, John. This game has a little bit of everything: rivalry, revenge factor, great individual matchups. We've got the lineups, and we will hear from the coaches right after this on FSC.
Want top coverage of England's finest?
Chelsea have been beaten for the first time this season after losing 2-0 at Aston Villa.
Then Sky Sports on Fox Sports World Canada has your fix. Doyle has scored! The complete story in all the domestic leagues, plus Champions League, FA Cup, and international fixtures.
And the latest on the big story linking Chelsea with Ronaldinho.
All the info, stories, and stats to keep you ahead of the game.
Steven Gerrard is out of Liverpool's Champions League qualifier.
Sky Sports and the Fox Soccer Report, weeknights on Fox Sports World Canada.
Swiffer 360 Dusters cleans dust and allergens so deeply, you'll send your old feather duster packing. Swiffer 360 Dusters cleans deep into hard-to-reach places. It reduces up to 75% of allergens that feather dusters can leave behind. The thick all-around fibers trap and lock on contact to clean better. Swiffer gives cleaning a deep new meaning.
Time to get the latte budget under control.
Trying to be smart about the family budget?
Here goes the good old steam.
Bounty can help because it cleans the mess with less. It's thick and absorbent and really durable. In lab tests, Bounty absorbs twice as much as the value brand. Why use more when you can use less? Bring it with Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. And try Bounty napkins.
Metamucil knows that you're doing all sorts of things every day to help lower your cholesterol. Might we suggest one more? Simply take Metamucil daily. Its psyllium fiber helps reduce bad cholesterol. Try Metamucil, and with each purchase, $1 is contributed to the Heart and Stroke Foundation.
Hi, this is Chuck Storm. I'm live at the scene where last night there was a robbery at about 3:30 in the morning. Now, police have...
Very tense times here at the moment. This crowd is absolutely electric.
In this game, only the strong survive. They go down hard, but come up stronger. Get ahead with Italian League Soccer, Serie A, and kick it every night with Fox Soccer Report on Fox Sports World Canada.
For I'm scared of what I'll find, and I'll lie and say I love you, and let my train go rolling by. And I will speak in diagrams of a dream and of a home.
This telecast of the USL postseason on Fox Soccer Channel is being brought to you by Sprint Turf, the smart choice in synthetic turf systems. USLLive.com, the official online channel of United Soccer Leagues featuring games, highlights, interviews, and more. USLsoccer.com, there's only one place to see who's the best. USLsoccer.com, play with passion. Umbro, true to soccer since 1924.
Welcome back to Vancouver. The crowd is ready, moments away from the kickoff of the championship game. But Sunday, World Cup qualifier, Armenia and Spain. That is 11 a.m. Eastern on Fox Soccer Channel. That's tomorrow. Let's take a look at the Vancouver Whitecap. Paul Dolan, two big-time forwards up top.
Yeah, Marcus Haber, the Rookie of the Year, and Charles Biquet, the Golden Boot. Calfin comes in on the left side for Anzu Torre.
Now for the Montreal Impact, Jordan has been playing very well in the nets.
And you'll see a lot of players who've played for both the Impact and the Whitecaps who've mixed teams, Joey Jurtson among them.
And we are set for the kickoff here. The crowd is into it, they're ready. First time ever a two-game series, and the 2009 championship is underway. This portion of the match is brought to you by Sprint Turf, the smart choice in synthetic turf systems. Early attack now, broken up nicely. Vancouver on the back line, and you look at that lineup, Montreal Impact blue and blue, and the home Vancouver Whitecaps in all white. And this first leg is so important in the championship game, Paul. You look at the series we've had so far in the playoffs, 4 out of the 5 series, whoever wins the first game goes through.
We talked to both coaches before the game, and they both say they want to come out and play attacking soccer. That's easier said than done. We'll see how things goes here tonight, but if it's anything like last week for the Whitecaps and for the Impact, they both got off to early leads.
Beautiful night for soccer here in Vancouver. A little cool, but no rain in sight. And another standing room only crowd here. They are packing them in. They got here early. as their Vancouver Whitecaps are trying to win a third championship in 4 years.
Well, you saw Tony Donatelli just there, and he was part of the championship for the Whitecaps in 2006. Actually scored against the Impact. And the other man on the ball right now, Charles Biquet, he was traded for last year, midway through the year. So as I mentioned off the top, a lot of players who've played on both sides. There's a lot in it.
Look at this. Biquet, your standard 50-yard shot there, testing Matt Jordan.
Well, he scored a lot of goals this year, but I don't think many from there.
How about the matchup between the two goalkeepers as well? Matt Jordan for Montreal and Jay Nolly for the Whitecaps, both in great form right now.
Jay Nolly, who has played every minute of every game for the Whitecaps this year, was voted the team MVP. And as did the entire team, his form really came into shape midway through the season. And Matt Jordan, who turns 34 on Tuesday, is a real veteran in the back for the Impact.
Head official for the game tonight is Carol Ann Chenard.
She's a good official, and she's done matches between these two teams before, both in the Nutrilite Canadian Champions League and also in the USL First Division.
Paul, if you're at Montreal, obviously two-game series. We heard Coach talking about it before. You don't come into a game trying to get the tie, but really Montreal has to look at the big picture here. The second game, are we going to see a defensive game from them tonight?
Well, you remember last year we had a rematch. Well, these two teams also played in the semifinal last year. And Vancouver went into Montreal, lost 1-0, came back here, and I think Montreal was too defensive in that game. Vancouver came out attacking, scored the 2 goals that they needed, and Montreal really couldn't get things going again. So once you start in a defensive mindset, sometimes that's hard to overcome.
Kashi Hirano sends it over the top, looking for the target, Charles Biquet. Easy target to find at 6'2", 210 pounds. The 31-year-old all-league first team is having another great run since joining the Vancouver Whitecaps in that trade that you mentioned. Sean Pejic lofts this in the area. Jordan's going to come out, and that'll be easy for him to grab. Unlike Nolly, Jordan only played in 20 of the 30 regular season games, 1.22 goals against average. Last year, of course, he led the league in goals against average, .766, named team MVP for the Impact.
Montreal has traditionally had a very strong team in the back. Perhaps not quite as strong as it ages just a little bit. Neville Pizzolito, who won a championship with Montreal way back in 1994 when they defeated the Colorado Foxes as part of that center back tandem. And for Vancouver, they've really shored up their center back position. Remember, they've had 9 or 10 different center backs as Bellissimo comes into the lineup into the playoff run here. And that's been his first taste as a center back coming into the playoffs, but the youngster's really acquitted himself well.
I think they like what they see in the playoffs as well. You mentioned those different lineups and different center backs, but they've kept the same back four through the playoffs. They like what they see, and why wouldn't you? They've made it as the 7th seed all the way to the championship game. Last team to qualify for the postseason are the Vancouver Whitecaps, and now they are a series away from winning it all again.
Steve, they're only a couple of points behind the Impact as well, and probably a couple of points that they're missing and giving up the home field advantage. But as you mentioned, it hasn't always been a deterrent to start your home game with the first game in a 2-legged series.
You know, if you look at that, the 2-game series we've had to this point, Thursday, Saturday game, Thursday, Sunday game, not a lot of rest time. This, you get a whole week off. These are 2 separate games, and you look at these coaches, a lot of tactics come into play of how you want to play this game, the players you want to use, and 2 great coaches tonight.
Well, Mark DeSantos took over from John Liniadis.
Good break here from Vancouver down that right side. The cross in front. Players there broken up. I think it was Pizzolito who got the head to clear it out.
Just going to mention that Mark DeSantos came into this team as the new head coach, taking over from John Lynmiadis when they were winless after 4 games to start the year. And he's done a terrific job in getting this team primed for the right time, which is playoff time. 4 wins and no losses in the postseason.
Play on. No fouls called to this point, almost 7 minutes through. And if you're a player, you're going to take that and say, hey, we're allowed to play in this one, and they'll adjust their style right now. A little shoulder challenge, not whistled. Now break for it, Montreal. In the area, cutting back, Rano. Great burst of speed to recover. And now to Braz. Adam Braz whips it in. And cleared out nicely by the Whitecaps, but only as far as Leonardo De Lorenzo. Has it on the right, much prefers the left. A little confusion and over the top. A great opportunity for Roberto Brown, as it was a sitter. And not what you like to see when your keeper's colliding with the back line.
No, a little bit of nerves perhaps in the early going. As you see the cross here, and what should have been an easy one for Jay Nolly. And I don't know if Luca Villasoma didn't hear the call there, or if he was unsure. He seemed very adept at dealing with those types of situations last week in Portland when he nodded a couple of headers back to the goalkeeper in dangerous situations, but certainly perhaps some early nerves for Bellissimo on that one.
Roberto Brown knows he could have done better with that. The keeper was down. There were 2 defenders back there covering the goal, but has to get that one on frame. Here, Byers. Back to Adam Braz, and now Montreal with some possession. Tony Donatelli, former Whitecap. Inside to De Lorenzo. Here's your Rookie of the Year, the local product, Marcus Haber, giving chase for Vancouver.
You see the good defensive work there from Marcus Haber. He was a defender before he came a forward. He's actually a defender with the Canadian U20 team at the U20 World Cup. And you see, much like Eddie Sabrango on the bench for Montreal, former Whitecap, and won it all for the Whitecaps last year. Very good defensive forwards as well as attacking players.
And that's what Theodor Torderson talks so much about. Not only his goal scoring, not only his ability as a rookie to come in and play so consistently, but also that defensive work that you saw right there. Nice turn by Byers as he beats 2 in the area for the impact. Looking to tee it up. Low shot just wide. As De Lorenzo again teeing it up on the left.
Well, the Whitecaps somewhat leaky in defense to start this game, and certainly Montreal, who historically have been somewhat defensive in this type of a 2-leg series away from home, had the 2 better chances to start the game. De Lorenzo just wide there.
De Lorenzo 1 goal and 3 assists this season. 4 years with credit to turn in the area. BK is whistled for the offside, and no matter how you look at it, Charles BK will be involved in the game. Leading goal scorers, actually led the league in fouls as well, leads the league in shots. You have a category, this is the man that's going to lead it.
Yeah, he's a strong man. He holds up the ball so well, so good in the air as well. And we saw earlier in the match that long-range effort he tried as well, but a very creative player. So expect the unexpected from Charles BK.
This part of the match is brought to you by USLLive.com, the official online channel of United Soccer Leagues, featuring games, highlights, interviews, and more. Another break for the impact. Look at this. And again, no foul whistled on that one as the hands came up from Byers. Haber. Give chase as Jacques will play it out of danger.
Jacques, one of the players who's come up through the Impact youth systems. As you look at West Knight with one of the longest throws in the league, you wonder if the dew of this autumn evening might make it a little more difficult to get it inside the area.
Whips it in, dangerous, and right out front, loose ball again. And well controlled by Matt Jordan. There is the whistle with the foul. And again, you look at the rookies on this Vancouver team. Obviously, Marcus Haber, Rookie of the Year. So this play starts with the long throw-in from another rookie, Wes Knight.
Yeah, with 8 assists on the year, and certainly 2 or 3 of them from that long throw type situation, whether directly or indirectly, and didn't seem to have any problems in the slick weather getting that ball right into the mixer.
Martin Nash with an uncharacteristic giveaway there on the square pass. And let's see what Montreal can do with it. Jertson. Joey Jertson, very crafty the last couple of years, played up top, and he's found a role in center midfield. 5'9", 155, 27-year-old from Tacoma, Washington.
Former USL MVP as well, and we talked about all the players who've played for both teams. Joey Jertson was an outstanding player for Montreal before he and David Testo were traded to the Impact from Vancouver for Zé Roberto a couple of years ago. And going the other way, we mentioned Tony Donatelli, Eddie Sabrango, and Serge Djukanovic, who's the backup goalkeeper for Montreal, also former Whitecap players.
Good through ball up top. They have been finding some room for Peter Byers, who's really come alive here in the playoffs. 4 goals during the regular season, but a goal and assist in that Puerto Rico series. Really done it with not much time on the field as well. Gabriel Pizzolito back to Jordan. Nash wins the challenge. And here's Byers with a break. And there is a easy call on the foul. But again, Paul, a little bit of confusion on the back line. Looked like some hesitation on whether Nolly was going to come out or if Pejic would have it.
And it's Pejic here holding up a little bit. In the end, it's Bellissimo who comes over and sweeps up the danger. But you just wonder if Sean Pejic is a little bit afraid of the speed that Peter Byers possesses there, and was beaten for speed on that one. He needed Bellissimo to come help him out.
There's Peter Torderson, former Icelandic international, played 20 years. 20 years of coaching experience over in Europe, and has done a fantastic job with the Whitecaps. Actually never lost a USL playoff game to date in his second year.
No, that's 9 games dating back to last year when, of course, they won it all. They won the USL First Division Championship after 5 games. Remember, it was a 1-game final last year. And through the 4 matches that they played this year, 2 wins and 2 draws. So come crunch time, Taylor Torderson gets his troops lined up when he needs to.
Nice switch to Adam Braz. Back to Cedric Jocavael, and Byers is definitely the target in this one. Not a lot of touches for Roberto Brown, who actually led the team in scoring this year. As you look at Mark Dos Santos, the 32-year-old, actually started his coaching career at the age of 16, which is a pretty early age to start your coaching career. It was actually over in Portugal for the high school team, and they needed a coach, and he stepped in and has done a wonderful job here with Montreal.
The last couple of seasons he was in Troy Rivera Attack of the CSL.
Let's send it down to sideline with John Billings.
Well, guys, as if this match needed any more fuel for the fire, there's the revenge factor for Vancouver here. The Whitecaps seem on their way to the CONCACAF Champions League after winning 3 of their 4 Nutrilite Canadian Championship matches. With Montreal all the way out of it, they just needed to lose by less than 4 goals to Toronto FC, but instead rested more than half of their usual starters, lost 6-1 to Toronto FC, and Vancouver was not happy about it. And as you talk to the guys this week, everybody kind of gives you the politically correct answer of, we're just worried about this game tonight, it's not about the revenge, but nobody seems to have forgotten about it, guys.
Thanks, John. Good report. Obviously, you look at some of the fans here, they've got signs up there remembering that game, and it is a big part of it. Obviously, you lose 6-1 when you're resting that many players, and, you know, been some quotes back and forth between the 2 teams, and I think cooler heads have prevailed and said, you know what, whoever wins the championship, then the talking will be done afterwards, but you don't really need much more motivation in a game like this.
No, we had a chat with Todd Warasek was the assistant coach for Vancouver before the game, and he mentioned that they've got a sports psychologist, David Cox, as we have another look at the foul there, but their sports psychologist has talked to the Whitecaps about thinking about the process rather than the results, and external things such as that Champions League fiasco, which really it was. Montreal pretty much going in, their coach saying that they were going to rest most of their team, that the game didn't mean anything to them. And it sure looked like it after actually going up 1-0 in that game. They lost to Toronto FC 6-1, and in the process knocked the Whitecaps out of the Champions League.
Yeah, you know when you're watching a game that you need a result, and you say, hey, as long as they don't win by 4, and they end up losing by 5, you question it. But again, make matters worse. And Montreal came in and beat Vancouver the next day or 2 days later, 2-1. So here is Martin Nash, captain for the Whitecaps. Short throw into VK with a nice turn. Gets it to the back post in front. And didn't get all the way around that to direct it on frame.
Whitecaps changing things up just a little bit there. Normally they go with the long throw. Martin Nash from this side, Wes Knight from the other side. But we talk about target man, and VK, I said expect the unexpected. Normally he'd hold that one up, but he was able to get by the defender rather easily and chip it into the area. I know the Whitecaps are disappointed that Anzu Torre, who played so well in the opening half against Portland last weekend, is not available. They really thought that they might create something down this left flank against the rather slow Adam Braz in the Montreal defense, the right back position. But they've got Nazar Colfin in to try to exploit that, the rookie from Tanzania.
Here is Nash picking it up at midfield, looking to spring an attack, and not enough on that through ball. The turnover to Montreal. In that game you mentioned last week on FSC with the 3-3 result in Portland. I mean, that game was almost like defense was optional in that. A couple shots off the bar, goalkeepers making some nice saves, and that easily could have been a bunch more goals. But you're right, Anzu Torre, one of the players that put it off the crossbar, and yet to see how much his absence will mean in this one.
Well, he set up the first goal and then he hit the crossbar later, but is out with the Charlie horse, not even on the Vancouver bench tonight.
Both teams are very deep, and we talked at the Open about how not a lot of people thought that these two teams would be here 2 months ago, but they've overcome a lot, gotten healthy. Marcus Haber draws the attention of two Montreal defenders and thought he won a throw, but didn't.
It looked as if it went off the blue sock player there rather than Marcus Haber, but the throw goes to Montreal.
Jurtson, here's David Testo. Look at that matchup inside with Testo and Jurtson. And Martin Nash on the other side is a critical element of this game. And right now, as Testo goes to the ground, he has to give the advantage to Montreal. I think they've had the better looks in this one.
And there's Testo being fouled by Kenneth Versailles. And Testo, who was named the Impact MVP this year, is really coming into his own after coming over from Vancouver a couple of years ago. The Whitecaps thinking he was expendable after kind of an up and down couple of seasons here. But he really, as you mentioned, Steve, controls that midfield much like his opposite number 7, Martin Nash, does for Vancouver.
This portion of the match is brought to you by Umbro, true to soccer since 1924. 21st minute here from Vancouver. Game 1 of the 2-game most goal series. And the 5th seed Montreal Impact will host game 2, the 7th seed Vancouver Whitecaps. Trying to get off an early lead in this series, which would make that trip to Montreal next week a little bit easier.
We mentioned last year that Montreal won their home game in the 2-game semifinal. And Vancouver really did use home field advantage. They were all over Montreal. It could have been more than the 2 they ended up winning by. We'll see if that's a reverse true here.
Wes Knight whips this one in and looking for the near post cross. Tashi Hirano. There is Nash. Another turnover for Martin Nash. And Hirano tangled up legs with Peter Byers. It's a player in Takashi Hirano who made an appearance in the World Cup back in '98 in France, playing for Japan. Actually got on the field, and well, you know, you got some players when you got guys that played in the World Cup, and Hirano did get clipped on that possession.
Very skillful player. Likes to get involved. We've seen him get knocked about quite a few times on our last 3 FSC broadcasts.
Another guy that hit the post on the free kick going upper 90. Would have been his first goal of the season.
That resulted in a corner kick that led to the eventual game-winning, series-winning goal for Marlon James.
This Knight put this one in a dangerous spot again. Well defended by Roberto Brown. We talked before about how important winning this game one is for Vancouver. And look at the numbers here for road wins through the entire regular season and the playoffs. The Whitecaps have only picked up 2 road wins. Back in May, they beat Minnesota, and they beat Rochester in July. So although they're playing very well, not a lot of confidence in their road game play. And again, the championship game could be different, the streak that they're on now. But through the regular season, we're not getting a lot of points on the road in terms of wins.
No, in the 4 games they've played in the playoffs, both the wins have come at home and the 2 draws away from home. So you'll know they'll want to get on the positive side of the ledger tonight before they go into Montreal. A very tough place to play, as you know. 13,000 fans expected for the game next weekend. And always a very supportive crowd, too. One of the best crowds in the entire USL.
This one makes it all the way through. 2 in the area for Montreal, right in front. And again, an opportunity for Montreal with a little bit of confusion on the back line on the clearance. Haber comes back to do some defensive work, and then Hirano says, enough of this, let's get out of here.
I know that talking to the Whitecap coaching staff after the game on Sunday in Portland, that they weren't too happy with allowing the 3 goals. And you're right, Steve, they have been a little disorganized in the first 22 or 23 minutes of this match. They'll want to tighten that up against a team that's got a lot of offensive weapons in Montreal.
Marc Dos Santos said to us before the game, not really believing in coming in and playing for the tie or playing conservative, and true to his words, they are getting forward, looking for Byers up top. Here he is again. Montreal definitely the aggressor here, going forward. Honest team in the league. They've done something in the playoffs they were unable to do all regular season, and that's win 4 games in a row.
I just wonder if Sean Pedgick has a niggling injury. He really seems to be unsure of his defending and even the back pass there in the early going. Jay Nolly had a couple of instances in Portland where he shanked back passes, and Portland made the Whitecaps punish on one occasion.
For Roberto Brown over the top, he wins that one but can't link up with Byers. Testo. Jertson with a burst of speed. That was the last touch by Jertson. Won't go out. A little spin on it. Cedric Jacavale eludes Haber, and again over the top. And even that clearance not the best, as you see the atmosphere here in Vancouver. Across the screen. Nash again. Intent to just play a little kickball here.
Well, we didn't have many fouls in the early going, but lots of niggly ones now as Carol-Anne Chenard, the referee, blows that one for a foul from Calfin.
Paul, as you look at that matchup with Toure coming out and Calfin in, what does Vancouver gain and what do they lose with that switch?
Well, the most left-sided player I've ever seen in Anzu Toure, who pretty much just uses the right foot for standing on, but very dangerous, as we saw again in the Portland game. But They like Colfin speed, so they don't lose a lot that way. And they also said he's a little bit more defensively responsible, which might be important as well.
Good defensive work by Steven DeRue. Wes Knight again, the rookie out of Charleston, South Carolina. Didn't get picked up by the Battery and has found a home here in Vancouver and has made a huge impact. 8 assists on the season, tied with Ricardo Sanchez in that category. Not bad from a rookie. And this one will go out of play. 28th minute in Vancouver, the 2009 USL Championship game. Steve Bell with Paul Dolan, John Billings, field level. And so far, if you're Montreal and you want to come in and get through the first couple minutes, get the nerves out, mission accomplished.
Yeah, I'd say more than mission accomplished. They've been on the upper foot through this first half of the first 45 minutes. And it's Vancouver who, for whatever reason, looks really unsure of themselves. Haven't really created a lot going forward, and certainly there have been some antsy moments in the back, certainly in the back four anyways.
Deep in the corner is Nevio Pizzolito, who gives chase. This one deflected out. 47th meeting between the two teams. 30 of those were decided either by 1 goal or ended in a tie. Impact lead the series with 26 wins, 13 ties, 6 losses, and 13 of those wins, though, right here in Vancouver.
Yeah, they owned the Whitecaps for 10 years here at the stadium. They went on a streak without losing over that period. And a big part of that was Eddie Sabrango, who played for Montreal and then came to Vancouver and actually haunted his old team by scoring a goal in the semifinals in 2006 when the Whitecaps won it all. But now he's back in Montreal colors, sitting on the bench.
Vancouver has not looked very dangerous in this one, but they can score. 3 of the top 10 scorers in the league for the Whitecaps in BK, who was first with 12. James, 6th in the league with 9, and then Marcus Haber, the rookie, 7th with 8 goals. As you look at Mark Dos Santos, the 32-year-old.
And he was just having a chat with his right back there, Adam Braz, about not taking that set piece too quickly. I think Mark Dos Santos wanted to see the Impact set up and get their big man forward for that crossing opportunity from the free kick.
Good control by Haber, realizing he had time to bring that one down. Finds Serrano.
Lots of stops and starts for Vancouver for sure.
Yeah, if you're Montreal, you'd like this pace. It's sort of choppy. It's if there's a foul call, it's being called on Vancouver. They're having the better look. So, you know, if you're Mark Dos Santos and if you're rooting for the guys in blue, you got to be happy with the first 30 minutes of this. The only thing you're not happy is haven't converted or hit the scoreboard yet.
And Mark Dos Santos said that they'd be satisfied, as most away teams would, with coming away from Vancouver with a draw. But based on their play in the early going, you're right, Steve, they'd probably just as soon have a goal up on the board as well.
Here's Martin Nash looking to link up. Good vision that time to get it out wide. This portion of the match is brought to you by USLsoccer.com. There's only one place to see who's the best. USLsoccer.com. Play with passion.
I mentioned just recently that Adam Braz took a quick free kick, and although it didn't come up, or come off rather, I see a lot more urgency from the Montreal Impact than I do from the home team. And generally it's the Whitecaps who want to come out in front of their big supportive crowd, get them into the game, and I just haven't seen the Whitecaps put their foot on the accelerator yet.
It's a great point. You look at a lot of hands in the pockets out there, and it is starting to get a little cool, but his fans are waiting to get raucous, as John Billings reported at the start of the game, that they can get into it, they can motivate, they can lift, and right now they've been quiet. But this man can change that. Martin Nash, the captain, is so dangerous on these restarts.
We saw him hit an absolute scorcher last weekend to put the Whitecaps ahead in that game. I don't think he'll try one from here, but he is very good at setting.
That is
well, somewhat surprising for me to see them play in Nazar Kalfin, who's only played a couple of games for the Whitecaps this year after being signed from their PDL team.
Let's send it down to John Billings.
Yeah, guys, down here on the field, and just caught my ear in a little bit on Taylor Torrenson's comments to local radio about the first half thus far, and he's frustrated. Frankly, the whole bench is frustrated, unhappy with the shape defensively and their inability to hold on to the ball, just giving it away too easily.
Thanks, John, and no doubt about it. I mean, from unlikely sources as well, you look at a guy like Martin Nash, who very rarely gives the ball away. He's maybe had 3 turnovers in this game. The decision you mentioned right there on the restart, Nash is a guy who's confident, who could take that shot, but going to Kalfin, the result, you could surely question it. But it does not look to be a confident Vancouver side right now.
Well, you used the word, I think, appropriately, uncharacteristic. A square ball that had was way underweighted in his pass, intercepted, and that is something that Martin Nash doesn't normally do, particularly at home here, where he's so comfortable with this beautiful grass surface. The Whitecaps just not clicking together. They made a couple of changes from the game in Portland. Chris Pozniak has given way to Kendall Versailles. He starts in the middle of midfield, and we mentioned that Andrew Toure was forced to stay out of the lineup tonight with that Charlie horse injury.
Kendall Versailles, a name not even mentioned that much through the first 33 minutes of this one, is again the central midfielders for Montreal winning that battle right now. BK. Challenge one. Here's Byers behind 3 defenders. And not his best effort, but again, Roberto Brown wins the challenge uncontested, and Byers breaks behind the 3 defenders.
Oh, and he just bursted behind Sean Pedgick as well. Pedgick, very good, experienced defender. Last played at York City in England, but is really getting beaten for pace by Byers in tonight's game.
Byers won't be happy with his shot for the throw-in. Never a good thing. More possession now from the Impact. Champions in '94 and 2004, looking for their 3rd league title. This one rolls back to Nolly.
Tony Donatelli, who took that shot, has also really settled in with his new club in Montreal after coming over from Vancouver. Has scored a couple of times, including in the postseason here, including one that longtime veteran Mauro Biello of the Impact called the best goal in Impact history, and he's seen them all, dating back 15, 16 years in his season. It was a combination of passes that hit 16 or 17 that he likened to the Argentina goal at the last World Cup.
Right now, the spacing for the Montreal Impact, possession, the movement is just superior to the guys in white right now. And even when Vancouver has it, look at the high pressure right now from the Impact, trying to win it back. On the midfield line, here's Haber. Now to Wes Knight. Has room to move forward. Wes Knight only had 8 shots all season, and that you might just see why right there. He is a guy great setting up. He almost didn't want to take that shot. He kept going forward. Very good with the service, but not a lot of confidence there. And led the league in assists. Crazy 8s. 8 assists, 8 shots on the season, and he's number 8. And his 9th shot, I think he wants it back.
Well, the 9th shot was more than 8 feet over the net. But yeah, both the Whitecaps shots on goal have been far from close to hitting the target. And that kind of sums up everything else we've seen from their performance through 35 minutes.
And bottom line, as bad as it is for Vancouver, it's still scoreless.
It is for now, but Vancouver certainly wants to tighten up in the back and try to create a little bit more to break down that Montreal defense, which I mentioned was somewhat aging, but you know, in some instances that helps too. They've got a veteran back four that knows how to play against these Vancouver forwards, all very familiar with playing against BK. They've done it for many years in practice as a member of the Impact.
Sergio Jocovael, Pizolito, a little cavalier with possession there as Haber was giving chase. But again, guys in blue winning that challenge there. Good work from Donatelli, and Testo picks it up. Now to De Lorenzo from Buenos Aires, Argentina. The left winger there, creative. He's had some room on that far side.
You know, Steve, for as much emotion as they talk about for revenge on that Champions League fiasco, I haven't really seen the hard sliding tackle or determination from the Whitecap players. They seem to be content to just soak up what Montreal brings to them. But when they're in possession, they really struggle going forward.
Great point. I mean, looking at it, if you're turned on your TV right now, it does not look like a championship type level of play or intensity. As you look at the challenges, Montreal, they're slide tackling, they're going in hard, but just not right there for Vancouver.
Well, there's one of your leaders, Charles Biquet, trying to send a message. So perhaps Biquet senses that and says from his forward position, come on, guys, let's get something going here.
Leonardo Di Lorenzo, fourth year with the Montreal Impact to take this restart left side, and again, won by Impact.
No, it's about this point now, perhaps, that Mark Dos Santos says, we need to take advantage of that. You know, we've got to take advantage of a team when they're down. And as you mentioned, Steve, there's still no score in this game. Perhaps the Whitecaps somewhat lucky, although no real clear-cut chances for either team.
Just the time of possession and the level of play for Montreal as you look at the Sprint Turf game summary. And again, there you see it. 4 shots for the Whitecaps, 3 of them on goal. Montreal with 3 shots, 2 on goal. But as you just mentioned, that's really not the story in this one. You look at that, you might think it's an evenly played game. Far from that.
I'm struggling to think of the ones that were actually on goal.
Those shots might have been pass backs, I think, that we've been given credit for. As again, the Impact going forward. Jerks it. And Sean Pejic. Safety first there, plays it out. Donatelli. Whitecaps have dropped all the way back in their end. Very deep. Adam Braz. Jocovael waited a little long for that one. Again, look how much time they have going forward. Steven Deroux tries to play it into the corner for Roberto Brown, and he'll win that one. Donatelli deep in the corner, and that out of play.
Now you wonder if the layoff, which was really only a week, compared to the 3 or 4 days that they'd been playing back-to-back games in the semifinal and the quarterfinal.
There's another break. And again, David Testo is just eating up everything through the middle of the field. He continues to pick up the loose balls. Number 7 for the Montreal Impact, having a very good first half.
Yeah, Mike!
As I look at the Whitecap bench and the Impact bench to see where they might get sparks from, it's Montreal who has a bit more experience. Pat Leduc, one of their better players, Rocco Placentino, who missed the game last week in Puerto Rico. He was getting married, and that was a somewhat controversial decision. But he missed that game, but back on the bench tonight for the Impact. And of course, the veterans in Mauro Biello and Eddie Sabrango.
I think the crowd actually, even sensing the level of play right there. Little frustration towards the referee as well, but I think maybe the effort is being challenged a little bit right now, because nothing for them to get involved with here. Just a great performance in this first half from Montreal. Braz catches up to this little Ole, the nutmeg from the right defender on Nazar Kalfin. Donatelli, look at this. Good build-up for the Impact going forward. Another nutmeg. There's 2 in a row. Back to Braz. Tries to whip this one in. Can't get it over that first line of defense. And look who's there again. David Testo.
Yeah, he's certainly been the calming influence in the Montreal midfield. Keeps this play alive.
Deroux. This one whipped in. And Testo will pick up the garbage again. Lorenzo trying to get over the top to Brown. Splitting the defenders. Joey Jurtsen's pass. Play on. Here is Charles BK. Tonight. Martin Nash. Back to BK. And Testo clears it out of danger.
You notice Charles BK on that last play coming way back, very deep, trying to get himself involved. He's not seeing any service from the midfield. So he says, let me come back and try to get something going myself here.
Frustration level, isn't it? When you're the target and you want the ball and you're a playmaker and you're not getting it, you're forced to come back 60, 70 yards from goal and defend. And that starts to wear on you, drains you a little bit. But again, BK led the league in fouls. He's used to getting back there.
I mentioned the players on the impact bench. For the Whitecaps, they've got the experienced defender in Chris Pozniak and Marco Retta, but also Justin Moose. They just the Whitecaps didn't think he had enough to go 90 minutes. He came on for Toure in Portland and played most of that game before being subbed himself later in the match. But perhaps he could add a spark. Or certainly Randy Edwini Bonsu, who has all sorts of speed up front, and perhaps that's the spark they're looking for.
Knight, a good early cross there. Again, BK trying to be the spark right now. This one across the goal, and Braz read it nicely. Roberto Brown to Donatelli. Rafael. Braz is winning the matchup here with Calfin. He is getting forward for the right back position. Versailles wins it. Swarming defense and another giveaway. They pressure the ball and win it right back. A
bit more quality in the passing from Montreal as well.
Look at this, Byers with a break on his feet. Still Byers right there in front. And point blank save from Jay Nolly, and really the first thing that these Whitecap fans can cheer about.
Well stood up by Jay Nolly, and he had to be there because again, Pejic was beaten for speed. Byers in alone, but he just didn't have the angle. Nolly stood up big, and that's a big first test for the Whitecaps keeper.
Another turnover here as the Impact win it. Best look of the game, best chance of the game, as Peter Byers is using that speed. Donatelli splits two defenders. They're playing at a different level right now. To Jurtsen. The cutback on the right. In front of the goal, and right there, and it's in! It was a matter of time. The Montreal Impact score first, and it's Roberto Brown.
And it's at least what the Impact deserve. The Montreal players spraying the ball around with all sorts of confidence, good one-touch passing, excellent ball control, and a very well whipped-in ball at the end, knotted in by Brown.
Look at that run, splitting between two defenders. They're so dangerous. Look at the cutback and the service. Steven Desroux. A fantastic goal, and really the last 15 minutes have been all Montreal Impact. Nolly made a save earlier, but if you're looking for a wake-up call for the Vancouver Whitecaps, it came in the 44th minute from the head of Roberto Brown.
And not a better time for the Impact and a worse time for the Whitecaps for that goal to happen.
Well, I cannot imagine what that locker room is going to be like for Vancouver right now, because they almost got out of this half playing probably as bad a soccer as they played in a while.
And perhaps that's the only positive thing that you can think of, is that it is only 1-0. Byers had the opportunity just a moment before.
Testo with it. Roberto Brown picks up his second goal of the playoffs. Also scored in the series against Puerto Rico. They're calling that an own goal. It definitely looked like Roberto Brown was there.
Well, he was celebrating as if it was, but most good forwards do it. Well, they call it an own goal, and if it is, it has been a hard afternoon for Sean Pejic. We talked about how he's been beaten for speed and seemed a bit unsure of himself, and if that does end up going as an own goal off of Pejic, it kind of sums up his first 45 minutes, I'm afraid.
I was about to say, it really sums up the half for them as well. Here's another one, and a good challenge, and this time Peter Byers went in. when they made the announcement in the stadium as well, looked at Roberto Brown, and he sort of threw his hands up as if to say, hey, I got it. So we'll surely take another look at that. But they do, at least in the scores table, call it an own goal.
And just a minute of added time here that has elapsed.
And that will do it. What a first half here in Vancouver, as the Montreal Impact came in and really controlled everything. Here's a look at how we go to break. The run by Roberto Brown, the deflection that gets by Jay Nolly, and that's where we stand through 45 minutes. With the roadside Montreal Impact in the lead 1-0 over the Whitecaps.
Well, the Southsiders still trying to show some type of support, but it's going to be a loud dressing room at Tater Torreson's Whitecap room.
Plenty to come. Stay with us on FSC.
It's that time.
Swiffer 360 Dusters cleans dust and allergens so deeply, you'll send your old feather duster packing. Swiffer 360 Dusters cleans deep into hard-to-reach places. It reduces up to 75% of allergens that feather dusters can leave behind. The thick all-around fibers trap and lock on contact to clean better. Swiffer gives cleaning a deep new meaning.
Are you looking for new friends or hot singles in Canada? Try dating on your cell phone. Simply text your postal code to 78887 and get connected with singles in your area today. What are you waiting for? Text your postal code to 78887 and get connected today. It's quick, it's easy, and it's fun. TextDating.ca. This is a mobdesk.com service. You must be 18 years of age or older. A premium charge of $1.50 Canadian per message sent. To cancel, send stock to 78887.
Where can you find confidence these days? Right under your nose. Confidence starts with Gillette's Best Shave. Gillette Fusion Power. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Cindy, have you seen my electric razor?
You tried the bathroom?
Hey, do you know what my black dress shoes are?
Have you seen my wallet?
No.
Imagine if every time you brushed, you had the power of the Oral-B experts helping you brush better. Oral-B Triumph with Smart Guide. Its wireless monitor tells you when to switch sides, how long to brush, even when you're brushing too hard. And its Floss Action brush head cleans deep to help reverse gingivitis. For a clean, healthy smile. Oral-B Triumph with Smart Guide. Brush like a dentist. Look for the only power brush heads recognized by the CDA.
This television station is a member of the Canadian Broadcast Council. The Council plays a special role in Canadian broadcasting by assisting in the application of specific broadcast standards and providing recourse for members of the public. These standards include our statement of principles and practices related to cross-media ownership. We welcome your feedback on matters related to our programming. You may reach us at 1-877-307-1999 or contact the Council at Post Office Box 3265 Station D, Ottawa, Ontario, K1P 6H8.
The broadcast of this match is authorized by United Soccer Leagues. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of USL is strictly prohibited. Tonight's match was produced for USL by Cultural Videos and Sports Communications Incorporated. What a first 45 minutes from Vancouver, as the Montreal Impact dominated the first 45, and they're out to a one-goal lead here at halftime. Steve Bell joined with Paul Dolan. Really a surprising first 45 minutes.
Surprising in the fact that the Whitecaps, who have played so well in the postseason, really sat back, but they were at 6s and 7s in the defense, didn't create anything in the midfield, and really it's a just scoreline through 45 minutes.
It was award week here in Vancouver, handing out the awards, and let's start with the Rookie of the Year, Marcus Haber, a guy we just watched.
He had a terrific rookie season. You see him there setting up Charles Bique. He scored early in the semifinal match against Portland, 7th this year in scoring with 11 goals and 4 assists. But we mentioned too how well he defends. He is a great all-around player that has been a real bonus for the Whitecaps this season.
Local player as well, and that is a fantastic thing as you look at Steve Cronin, goalkeeper of the year. Fantastic job that he did as well. All the awards were handed out this year, and there's still a couple awards to be decided. You look at the MVP, the two guys up for MVP. Christian Arrieta, Defender of the Year last year for Puerto Rico. He's up against a guy who's probably the front runner.
I would say Manji Keita, who played for Portland this year and did so well, was a leading goal scorer in the league. But you've got 2 great finalists in there.
And also 2 of the coaches, 4 coaches up for Coach of the Year, 2 of them in this championship game. So a lot of great awards being handed out to some players and coaches who have an outstanding USL season here. And we've got a little bit to go. Let's send it now down to John Billings with Tim Holt.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, here with the United Soccer League's president, Tim Holt. And Tim, congrats on a great season. In addition, this is the first season, the 2-leg system for the final. What factors led to that, and how does it seem so far?
Yeah, John, we've had a one-game championship, one-off final for the last 13 years. The first year that we've gone to a 2-leg final. Several reasons for that. One, you know, the competitive fairness issue. 12 of our last 13 finals have been won by the home team. So it's a major competitive advantage, too much of a competitive advantage in our opinion. So we think it's competitively the fairest way for the finals, consistent with our previous rounds. The first and second round are both 2 legs. And then thirdly, it's a reward for the fans in both markets. We really believe in playing the championship in front of the home fans in USL, and it allows fans in both markets to be able to partake in the final. So there are other competitions that do it, Copa Libertadores, CONCACAF Champions League have 2-leg formats, but more importantly, we think it's the best format at this time for our particular league.
Now, obviously, these 2 Canadian teams, it's a great thing for their programs to make it this far to the championship. What does it mean for the entire league to have 2 teams from Canada representing the United Soccer Leagues?
Yeah, it's exciting. It talks about the strength, increasing strength of Canadian soccer. You know, you think about these 2 accomplished and storied franchises in our league, Montreal and Vancouver. They've never met in a final before. That's exciting for us. The first time they've won 3 out of the last 5 championships in this league. They're as well respected and well run, as competitive as almost any club in North America in professional soccer right now, and we're excited. There's no individual probably that's done more for the growth of professional soccer in Canada than the 2 respective owners of the teams, Joey Saputo in Montreal and Greg Kerfoot in Vancouver. So we're thrilled for the teams, we're thrilled for the league. It's another great showcase, a wonderful atmosphere here tonight. We're going to have a great atmosphere next weekend, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, congrats on another great season of the USL 1, and let's head back upstairs.
Thank you, John and Tim. Let's take a look at the MVP finalists. Again, Christian Arrieta, Defender of the Year last year, up for MVP.
Yeah, he had a terrific year this year. So good at going forward for such a strong defender as well. And Manju Keita, who also showed some good defensive responsibilities last week, despite winning the Golden Boot this year with the most points.
And USL Defender of the Year, Arrieta up for that as well. It's tough to not be the MVP if you're not the Defender of the Year as well. And let's head into the Coach of the Year, Marc Dos Santos here as well. Colin Clark, Martin Rennie, first year with Carolina, and Gavin Wilkinson, what a year he had in Portland, the 24-game unbeaten streak. We are at halftime. These fans are looking for something to cheer about. Will they get it in the second half? Stay with us.
Cindy, have you seen my electric razor?
You tried the bathroom?
Hey, do you know what my black dress shoes are?
They're not in the closet?
Have you seen my wallet?
Nope.
Where can you find confidence these days? Right under your nose. Confidence starts with Gillette's Best Shave. Gillette Fusion Power. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that.
There's a smarter, cooler way to get your clothes brilliantly clean. And it's a turn for the better. Tide Cold Water. It's specially formulated to clean in cold, which can save you cash. And that's cool.
I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that.
Tide Cold Water. Get out of the old and into the cold.
Cool like that.
Hurry, hurry! Welcome to the world of online poker.
Come here, kid. You want to play a game? I won't bite you.
Come here, kid. Play with the pros. We'll teach you the tricks. We'll beat you every hand.
You're a donkey. Play with me and I'll make you feel real stupid.
Is this what online poker is like for you? CoolHandPoker.net is a relaxed environment where you can play against real people for realistic stakes. No pros, no hustlers, no sharks. This is poker for the people. This is CoolHandPoker.net.
Cool. Are you looking for new friends or hot singles in Canada? Try dating on your cell phone. Simply text your postal code to 78887 and get connected with singles in your area today. What are you waiting for? Text your postal code to 78887 and get connected today. It's quick, it's easy, and it's fun. TextDating.ca. This is a mobdesk.com service. You must be 18 years of age or older. A premium charge of $1.50 Canadian per message sent. To cancel, send stock to 78887.
Want top coverage of England's finest?
Chelsea have been beaten for the first time this season after losing 2-0 at Aston Villa.
Then Sky Sports on Fox Sports World Canada has your fix.
Doyle has scored!
The complete story in all the domestic leagues, plus Champions League, FA Cup, and international fixtures.
And the latest on the big story linking Chelsea with Ronaldinho.
All the info, stories, and stats to keep you ahead of the game.
Steven Gerrard is out of Liverpool's Champions League qualifiers.
Sky Sports and the Fox Soccer Report, weeknights on Fox Sports World Canada.
And a little bit unpredictable first half of this championship game with the road team really dominating.
Yeah, it wasn't what we expected. Certainly not for Vancouver. Montreal will be very happy, though, with the way things turned out. As you look at the goal there, and right now they're saying that that's an own goal off of Sean Pejic. It looked as if Roberto Brown might have got a piece of that. He's celebrating as if he did.
That really the icing on the cake, the goal there right before they went to break. But more importantly, they controlled a lot of the level of play. They controlled possession. They won the 50-50 balls as well, didn't they?
Yeah, you see the shots on goal there as we look at the stats, but really that doesn't tell the story. Montreal in complete control of the midfield, passing the ball nicely, creating more of the opportunities, and the Whitecaps really struggling in the back.
One stat that jumps out, again, championship atmosphere, no yellow cards, no red cards. I'll take it a step further. No real hard challenges for either side. Let's see if Vancouver switches that. They've got 45 minutes to take hold of that home field advantage. Stay with us. Second half kickoff is coming up right after this.
I love to write. When I was a kid, it was my private secret journals. Now it's writing lyrics for my songs. I'm not your girlfriend. But it all began with reading. I'm proud to support the CanWest Raise a Reader campaign. Partial proceeds from my fall tour will go to support family literacy projects in your community. I'll see you soon. Together, let's help make Canada well-read.
Swiffer 360 Dusters cleans dust and allergens so deeply, you'll send your old feather duster packing. Swiffer 360 Dusters cleans deep into hard-to-reach places. It reduces up to 75% of allergens that feather dusters can leave behind. The thick all-around fibers trap and lock on contact to clean better. Swiffer gives cleaning a deep new meaning.
Hi, this is Chuck Storm. I'm live at the scene where last night there was a robbery at about 3:30 in the morning. Now, police have...
Cindy, have you seen my electric razor?
You tried the bathroom?
Hey, do you know what my black dress shoes are?
They're not in the closet? Have you seen my wallet?
Nope.
And now we have number 11. How many did you get tonight, Scott?
I got 4.
Oh, my...
looking for new friends or hot singles in Canada? Try dating on your cell phone. Simply text your postal code to 78887 and get connected with singles in your area today. What are you waiting for? Text your postal code to 78887 and get connected today. It's quick, it's easy, and it's fun. TextDating.ca. This is a mobdesk.com service. You must be 18 years of age or older. A premium charge of $1.50 Canadian per message sent. To cancel, send stock to 78887.
I'm really independent, but my boyfriend is always depending on me. I wish I could get him to stop drinking, but I don't want to talk about it.
I'm here for my kids, but where's their father? His drinking is causing problems. I'm not the one who needs help. I'm the responsible one.
My wife drinks too much sometimes. She's not dependable. It's hard to be responsible for everyone, but I'm managing pretty well.
Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you could learn in an Al-Anon family group meeting from people just like you.
For the first time ever, the USL Championship game will be decided with a two-game series. You can catch Game 2 next Saturday, the 17th, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. That is in Montreal, where these two teams will get together again to decide it all. MLS Saturday as well. New England Revolution, Chicago Fire, 5:30 Eastern Time, live on Fox Soccer Channel. Steve Bell with Paul Dolan, John Billings on field level. And you look at these fans here, it's been quiet all night long. Not a lot to cheer about for these home fans who've had a lot to cheer about during the regular season.
Yeah, we mentioned the struggles that the Whitecaps have had on the road. Just 2 wins this year. And certainly they don't want to have to come from behind in Montreal, trailing this leg of the series 1-0.
Take a quick glance of both sides to see if there's any changes. Probably the one biggest thing that you look at is Martin Nash. You saw his face there and what he's going to bring. It looks like Justin Moose will be coming in for the Whitecaps.
And it looks as if it's going to be for Charles Biquet. And Biquet, perhaps the one player I thought was trying to put himself about a little bit, although he had no service and really no opportunities to get on the score sheet. But Marlon James, who has a little bit more pace than Biquet, not quite the target player, is also coming into the game, and we'll see who he replaces as we look at the fourth official put up the numbers.
Surprised to see BK come out. Obviously, again, as you mentioned, a little bit having that spark there. Didn't look like there was an injury, as you see the atmosphere here trying to get the Vancouver side going.
Well, I am somewhat surprised in that BK is a big game player. We saw last year in the final, he scored twice. He also scored in the first leg against Portland, but the Whitecaps needed to do something. They didn't have the energy in the first 45 minutes. Perhaps they can get it now from the craftiness of a Justin Moose and the pace of a Marlon James.
You hear the crowd chanting Moose. Justin Moose in for Nazar Kalfin, who really did not have a strong first 45 minutes again. And Sutori not available. BK is out. Marlon James actually second on the team in goals scored with 9. All-league second team, so it's not like it's a huge substitution as you see Vancouver in the all-white, the Impact in the all-blue with the lead.
No, and you mentioned Marlon James. His strike rate was phenomenal. He's got 10 goals in 9 games. So he finds the back of the net when he gets on the pitch, and that's what the Whitecaps need right now.
Here's Wes Knight to Marlon James with his first couple touches, trying to get a little burst of speed going, and will be whistled for an early foul. So BK all-league first team. Led the league in goals. Montreal still attacking. Look at this, a break right in front. The offside flag was up. But if there was any question on how Montreal would come out and start playing the second half, it's a lot like the first. Going forward, getting into the attack.
Well, the best offense is simple stuff, and Byers there with the first touch. An excellent ball to the wing. They were just offside there. And they have confirmed, too, on that goal that it did come off a Pejic last. So we're going to go with that one for now. It did look as if, from our angle, that Roberto Brown got a piece of it. but it goes down as an own goal for what can only be described as a horrific first half for Sean Pedgick.
Taking a look at that too, again, I know this is the way they look at it, but if Brown didn't make that run, Pedgick wouldn't have put it in the back of the net. So good run, even if he doesn't get credit for the goal. Strong run there, touch foul here, and again, Vancouver is dangerous on these restarts, not the kind of touch foul you want to get. Tony Donatelli whistled for the push.
No, you make a good point, Steve, and that don't let the Whitecaps get back into this if you're Montreal through what is their easiest way to do it. Set pieces. Martin Nash very good here. They send the big bodies forward, big Tabor, center backs as well. Everyone lined up for this.
Nash whips this right in front. There is the header. And again, that's as dangerous as they look. They cannot create from the run of play. The one way they can do it is off the restarts, and Nash is the guy that's going to help them.
And they were able to get there before Matt Jordan. That's generally where BK is strongest, but it was James, I think, on this occasion who just got the touch.
Matt Jordan's going to go back and clean some of the streamers up to take a little time off the clock. 81 saves this year, 24 goals allowed. 8 seasons in MLS. He has definitely found a home here in Montreal. Voted team MVP last year. Over the top, Wes Knight giving chase. Nice defending from Steven Giroux, but then he'll lose possession. Good double team there. A little bit more scrappy now from Vancouver. That's what you want to see from the rookie, Knight.
I couldn't imagine that they would come out any flatter than they did in the first 45. So Wes Knight showing something there. A good ball for Martin Nash as well into the corner, trying to use that pace of Wes Knight. And you saw the big flag in the south side, and that is one thing that perhaps the Whitecaps will have on their side this half, is that they've got that big contingent trying to draw that ball into that net. Je me souviens, I remember 18-609 is what the sign says. That's June 18th, the game in which Montreal lost 6-1 to TFC and through the Whitecaps' hopes of advancing in the Canadian Champions League.
Over the top. There's Martin Nash. Martin Nash with a hard challenge, and this could be red. Jumped right in. Should at least be a yellow. Hard challenge right in front. And let's wait to see which color comes out. A hard challenge, a frustrating challenge.
He's gone. She's in the back
pocket. This could be it for Martin Nash. He is done.
And that could not be any worse for the Whitecaps. Their best player, their captain, and a player who is trying to get things going, it appears here. He feels he's tripped up there, I suppose, and then you're right, the frustration right back at Roberto Brown.
I'll tell you what, the key for me is the referee is literally a yard away and you're lunging, diving in. A red card, and that is digging a much, much bigger hole for the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Well, not only for today, but obviously for the final next week in Montreal. He will not be a part of that after the red card here. So things do go from bad to worse for the Whitecaps. Incredibly, after giving up the late goal in the first half, and then looking to have settled things down a little bit more in the first 5 minutes of this half, Martin Nash is sent packing.
Well, we talked a little bit at halftime about not enough of those hard challenges. There haven't been any yellows, there haven't been any reds. The fans are going to give Nash a nice send-off. But wow.
It does look as if Roberto Brown was hurt as well.
Yeah.
It's not as if he's faking rolling around. He may have caught it just in the Achilles here. It is a late challenge. Now, whether that's a red card offense, I think you said it best, Steve. The referee is a yard away.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I looked at it the first time, I thought it was a red card. The replay, I thought it was a yellow card. But at first glance, she does not have the look of a second chance. What it looked like the first time I saw it was lunging with the spikes up and a malicious attack going to the red card. now that we've seen it the second, third, fourth time, looks like it could have been a little bit harsh, but in any event, a lot of work now for the Whitecaps.
I'll tell you who else thought it was a red card. About 12 guys in black jackets on the bench right in front of that challenge. Every single one of the Impact substitutes and coaching staff was up in arms. So
you never get to interview officials too, but I would love to get the thought process there, because there was a lot of time. The challenge was done, she walked away, she walked for about 10 yards, thought about it, and then went to the back pocket. So it'll be interesting what the thought process was. But again, Vancouver down a man and down a goal, and they're here at home and they're running out of time. And the booing is obviously for Roberto Brown, who needed the stretcher to go off and will hobble back on, but appears to be okay now.
I think it's unwarranted, the booing. It was definitely a hard challenge. And he appeared to be in agony as he was rolling on the field there. But obviously the Whitecaps fans very upset with the way their team played in the first half, and knowing that it's going to be that much more difficult in the final 38 minutes or so here tonight.
And we've said maybe for a spark, you don't want your captain being sent off to anything else. That would do it. But right now, again, it's the Impact continuing to go forward.
Last look here, so you see that perhaps Nash upset with a challenge trying to get back in there. And he's timed his tackle late in either case, whether the intent was there or not. It was right in front of the referee, and she didn't really hesitate. You mentioned, Steve, that she took a bit of time, but I think she'd made up her mind. It was just a matter of getting it out of that back pocket.
I think it's, you look at just the challenge, probably not a red card. The timing with the retaliation right in front of the referee, I think that combined to make it the red, and big play in this championship game.
Well, we talked about it being a 4-half series. You know, we're only through one half. But things for the Whitecaps not looking good.
Good turn there from Marlon James going the other way. The second half sub came in for BK. Looks like Vancouver wants to get Pozniak out on the field, the next stoppage. There's Roberto Brown. Switches it. Steven Deroux. The cutback on the right. And the giveaway here to Marcus Haber. What can the Rookie of the Year do? 2-on-2 soccer. He's got James on his right. Takes it to the left. The cutback. Haber. Goal! Vancouver has evened it.
Is an incredible piece of individual effort from Marcus Haber. We talked about him at halftime, the Rookie of the Year. And he has come with something out of nothing to create a fantastic equalizing goal, and we're level on the series somehow.
I think we can stop calling this guy a rookie. Here's a 50-yard run. 2-on-2, the cutback, the second cutback, and then the clinical finish. What a run to give life to this Vancouver team. Behind the back cutback. Hello.
Well, this one started way back. Steven Deroux with a horrible giveaway for the Impact. Trotting back slowly. Marlon James was wide open in the middle as well. Vancouver taking advantage of the only real Montreal lapse in this first 56 minutes. And as I said, incredibly, we're level, despite the fact that Montreal has completely outplayed the Whitecaps. And who knows, maybe the spark that you mentioned there with Martin Nash getting sent off has lifted this Whitecap team. They've got it all to do now. But they're right back in this thing.
Voted the fan favorite here in Vancouver, the local guy who has done well. And he's just taken his popularity here to a new level. What a run.
Well, that's what it takes, Stephen, when you've got a team that's not really lifting itself. You need one player to make an impact, so to speak. And Marcus Haber's done that. He picked up the loose ball from Darude, which really was a poor pass. A ball that was played back towards Haber, who was in a forward position, and he just took on the Montreal defense and really ran them ragged, cutting the ball back on to his favored right foot and slotting it home.
Peter Byers with it, breaks past two defenders right in front. Here's a chance for the Impact. Well, they could not get that one on frame. They had a gift there, trying to catch him off guard. The deflection now from Jertson. Again, they've got the man advantage. Flag is down, cross in front. Whitecaps trying to use the momentum there. And Roberto Brown can't get the header. The more boos, the more grimace. You can tell he is in pain. A hard challenge.
A pretty good response from Montreal here after conceding. And you're right, Steve, that Roberto Brown certainly is in pain. He was able to get the head to that ball, but you wonder now what the tactics are for either team. Is Montreal happy to get out with a draw, or do they try to take advantage of having the extra man on the field? I would think the latter, particularly with the way they've played for the most part in this game. Really, it was just the one breakdown that has us tied at 1 right now.
No doubt about it. I think you're right. I think if you're Montreal, you've controlled this entire game with the exception of the one run from Marcus Haber. You've got the man advantage. You got the other team's captain out, and you've had them on their heels the entire game. You've got to keep going and get as many as you can. Could just as easily go home and pick up a red card at home. You got to take advantage of the situation you have.
And ironically enough, it was Jay Nolly in last year's semifinal against Montreal who was red carded in Montreal. The Whitecaps ended up losing that game 1-0.
Looks like Vancouver will make that substitution now as Chris Pozniak is set to come in for Versailles.
And another player who was ineffective, quite frankly. Versailles, who started in place of Pozniak, who started last weekend. Chris Pozniak did. Pozniak more of a holding type midfielder. So perhaps Taylor Torgerson just wanting Chris Pozniak to hold the fort here. I think Vancouver at this point would be the team that would be happy to come out of here with a draw.
Well, you look at not even past the 60-minute mark, and 4 players who started for Vancouver are out of the game now. And BK, Versailles, Kaufman, and Nash, who got the red card. Going to that bench that you talked about.
Now they're being forced to as well. They do have that one last spark plug up their sleeve in Randy Edwini Bonsu, one of the quickest players on the team. He scored the winning goal against Carolina in round 1.
This one in front here. The one-timer right across the goal. Still there and off the post. Roberto Brown, boy, that would have been salt in the wounds if Brown puts that one in. But again, the Impact getting the opportunities.
Just trying to figure out, is it poor defending or is it good build-up play for the Impact? And I have to put it down to poor defending. Very poor defending. The Whitecaps not closing down the cross, then not getting tightly marked to the players who are getting free looks at the goal. Jacques Yvel from the side, and then the shot that hit the post.
Testo with time, looking to spring Joey Jertson. And even the clearance from Nolly, not a good one.
I mentioned before that his clearances in Portland weren't the best either. The Whitecap defenders really needing to make that a little easier for the Whitecap netminder.
Jacques Vail's pass all the way through to Nolly. I think if you're Vancouver, you got to find a way to get Haber involved.
Well, he hasn't gotten the service. The best service he got today was from the Impact player Stephen Daru, and he took it himself the rest of the way.
It looked like at the time, it was definitely a bad pass by Daru, but who would have thought it would have been so costly? 80 yards from your own goal, a giveaway, and that was enough. Here's Haber again. Only time there's a spark is when he has it, and you can't really fault him for trying to make that run either.
No, you can't. Speed kills in this game, and he's got lots of it. He's the only player on the team that seems to be wanting to take defenders on. And obviously, when you score a goal, you're buoyed by that, but the Whitecaps still looking tentative.
Flag is down. Impact with a chance. 3 going forward. The cutback. Trying to take the lead again. It's through. 2-1 Montreal.
And again, it's Sean Pejic victimized badly. And the Impact identifying that, going down that wing, and a very valuable goal away from home.
Look at Byers. It looked like he might have been offside on that one. Byers with the cutback has it on, and again, just too many players standing as Peter Byer cuts back. Look, 3 defenders, and no one closes them down, and it looked like it might have been the nutmeg.
And the Whitecap fans here are showing their displeasure, I think as much with the team really disguised as displeasure with the linesman on the far side.
That's a great look there from our crew. It looked like Byers was offside on that run when the ball was placed behind that back line. Byers had made his run very close, but looked like he might have been off. Good look there.
Excellent look, but you know, they're always going with or they're told to go now with the forwards if it's 50-50. They want to see more attacking, more goals. There's FIFA, and that's the mandate.
And great point too, and bottom line is, even if he was offside, got behind, there were 3 defenders back there that Byers beat once he got it. It wasn't like he took the pass and went straight to goal. He had to beat a couple of guys, but big individual effort from Peter Byers to take any momentum that Marcus Haber gave to this Whitecap team and throw it out the window.
You just wonder if that can be replicated somehow, whether it be Marcus Haber or someone else. It's the set pieces that they're going to get a chance from, and it's a West Knight long throw.
Knight with a run-up. Line drive right in front. Back to the rookie. Good driven ball right in front, and it's tied again!
Incredible! How the Whitecaps are responding, I don't know. But give them credit. A lot of heart. They've been completely outplayed, but the Whitecaps have somehow again found an equalizer.
Looks like defending might be optional tonight as well. James. West Knight had the cutback, and let's take a look at the goal as West Knight got it from the throw-in.
And Marlon James, who scored the goal, has been booked for over-celebrating, and he's not happy about it, but he is happier that they have again drawn level with Montreal. And if you're coach Mark Dos Santos, you've just got to be scratching your head right now.
Made the comment earlier about West Knight's shot, but that is what he does well. Had the throw in, the composure again from the rookie to look up, pick Marlon James out, give the service there, and here go the Whitecaps. Trying to get through. He's through. All the way to the far side. Still Vancouver. It's not out of danger yet. And to think this is only game 1.
Well, we've been hammering the Whitecap defense all night. I think it's time to take a go at the Impact back four, because this was far too easy a header for Marlon James. You look at the clearance there onto the feet of West Knight. No closing down, and a free header essentially for Marlon James, who made no mistake.
They say it all along, the defense wins championships, but it has been suspect tonight, all night long for Vancouver, and at times for Montreal. 4 goals scored, game 1. And again, Vancouver scored both of their goals down a man. And Martin Nash was sent off with a straight red. Joey Jerkson behind the defense, and this one will be out of play for the Montreal Impact corner.
Well, you said it kind of jokingly, Steve, about perhaps the sending off would lift this team. It certainly galvanized the Whitecaps somewhat in that they've had to come together and work harder individually.
Short corner in front. Good clearance this time from Vancouver. A long-range shot. Let's send it down to John Billings on the sideline.
Well, guys, your comments about does that ignite the team with the red card, no question it ignited the crowd ever since that red card from Nash. Everybody has been excited about the goals, about the plays, about tackles on the field. It's gotten things going. It seems to have galvanized both teams as the play has really heated up down here.
Thanks, John. No doubt about it. The crowd was very quiet in the first 45 minutes, and even the red card was something that gave them a little bit of life, if only to direct it towards the referee.
Well, and the goal from that as well, that came a little later. Everyone in the building thinking that was an offside goal, the second one that the Montreal Impact scored. So it's a rallying point of some sort, I suppose.
Here's Marcus Haber, youngest player on the field at 20 years of age, who scored the first goal for the Whitecaps.
And Haber's feeling it. You know, he's dropping back now, trying to pick up balls to get as many touches as possible, but he will run all day long. There's one player for sure who's not going to back down.
And how about the move from Peter Torderson, bringing in James, who gets the goal, and again, another set-piece opportunity. Not what you want if you're Montreal.
And John Billings talked about how things are heating up in the crowd and on the field in particular. These two teams have a long history going way back, and although a lot of the players haven't been around for a lot of that history, you can sense that it's starting to boil up and bubble up just a little bit right now. There's the challenge on West Knight. It looked as if the Testa won the ball cleanly, but Giroux barging the Vancouver player over and leads to this set piece. We saw Hirano hit the upright from here, almost this exact position in Portland.
Well, this is where they'll miss Martin Nash the most, but you're exactly right. Hirano, he can light it up from here with the left foot. Three-man wall. Whitecaps trying to take the lead for the first time tonight. This one driven, but could not get enough action on the ball to dip it down from Hirano.
I think it's worth a crack from there. Again, we saw that he has the ability to hit the target from there. Well, we're going to see Eddie Sabrango come into the game and talk about a player who has seen it all on both sides of the field here at Swangard, as a visitor with the Impact and as a hero last year when the Whitecaps won it all.
Well, I mentioned Marcus Haber and the impact he's had in the game, the 20-year-old. Well, how about the 36-year-old, Eduardo Zabrango, coming in now, who can still play at that age?
Well, he's 36 years old, Steve, but he is one of the fittest players. They said last year with the Whitecap testing he was the fittest player, and I'm sure he hasn't lost a lot since then.
Looking for his 5th title. Played in Hershey, played in Rochester, played in Vancouver as well, and really an impact player who could come in, and we're looking about 20 minutes that he can go right now, but you'll look at the level that he brings this team up.
Well, Eddie Sabrango, you mentioned, on 4 championships. Martin Nash also on 4, so one of them is going to get their 5th USL championship, which would be a record.
Good cut back there, good service in front, and it's off the bar again! The return shot saved off the line and then cleared wide!
It's going back and forth. Nolly with an incredible second save there after it hit the crossbar. And again, the defense allowing so many clear-cut opportunities. We didn't see much in the first half in terms of clear-cut chances. But again, in behind off the crossbar, and he somehow gets a pot of that one.
What a game we're having tonight. Give credit to Steven Deroux again, who whipped the cross in the first time as the fans are chanting Nolly, who got the return header and cleared it off the line. This is a game of inches tonight.
And the crowd very much back into this game as they're pretty much forced to sleep in the first 30-40 minutes before the Impact finally got on the scoreboard. And there have been all kinds of chances in the second half, referees' decisions, linesmen's decisions, that has gotten this Vancouver crowd all geared up. now Montreal giving the ball away in the back there. They're very untidy anyway.
They look back to that play off the bar and then the save by Nolly. This one ends 2-2. And Montreal would love to have the lead in this one. Use that man advantage. All through, all the way. Nolly's going to have to come out and get it.
Well, the Whitecaps have used 10 different center backs this year. They started with Wesley Charles. Jeff Park was back there. I'm not going to go through them all because I can't remember them all. And
I was impressed. That was a good start.
But they thought they'd found the winning combination back there through the first 4 games of the playoffs. But it seems to have kind of fallen apart a little bit. Let's have one last look at this.
Said game of inches. Let's look when the ball is released right there when it's on his foot. That's a great look there from the crew. A game of inches, and it appeared that he was onside. A good call.
And it was Lyle Martin on the near side of your screen, just keeping the impact forward onside.
Again, we have the look of 4 and 5 replays and slowing it down as we did for the red card as well. They have the one look, but I think when you consider everything, they've had a good game tonight, the referee, officiating crew.
Well, we always knew it would be heated as well. And so on almost every call, one of the teams isn't happy. But I don't think it's been the officiating that has influenced this game one way or another, really.
Montreal, man advantage, in control of this game, had the lead on separate occasions, only to have Vancouver come back. Can they get the lead again?
Now, as much as the Whitecap defense needs to take a bit of credit for what's happening tonight, or lack of credit, it hasn't really been helped by the Whitecap midfield either. They've allowed a lot of through balls to get testing the back four.
Steven Deroux with a long-range shot there, but he has had a great night. He set up the goal with the cross. That one, the one off the bar, whipped it right in front. Huge crowd here tonight. They've got the masks on. They've got the smoke going. 5,886. And that's what they look like in the first half, the hands in the pockets, but they have had a lot to cheer and yell about here in the second.
Another sellout for Vancouver. They're 13th on the season. That's a record for the Whitecaps.
Just a great area for soccer, Pacific Northwest. You look at Seattle and Portland and Vancouver and the crowds that they've been getting. It is a hotbed for soccer.
So what lays in store for the next 15 minutes? You would think again that the Whitecaps, again reminding you that they're a man down, would try to hold this and try to start over again in Montreal. They've had a really poor game here, but somehow they're level with the Impact with 2 goals really out of nothing.
Haber with a hard challenge and play on. I think the crowd was asking for the card. Nothing given. Here's Testo. To Brown. Adam Braz with a lot of room to go forward. Joey Jurtson, good vision to get it into Neville Pizzolito. Has it on the left. Good cut back. Look at the speed Joey Jurtson still has. Toledo tried again with the left. Not known for his service. Flag is down here for James. Thinks about going 1-on-3. Nobody around him to help. 1-on-5. Still James doing his best to hold on to it. Can he win a corner? No one even made a run to help Marlon James there in the corner. Again, down a man. And look at the break out for the Impact.
I think that might be the right decision by the supporting players, and that you don't want to get caught upfield and get countered when you're a man down.
Well, this is the sub that I thought would be coming. Rocco Placentino set to come in. You alluded to the fact that he missed the last game and comes out for Joey. Jertson comes out, who was playing very well there, had some fresh legs for Placentino. The 25-year-old led the team with 5 assists, 7th in the league, and he is fresh and ready to go.
He is, especially having missed the game against Puerto Rico, so he hasn't played in a couple of weeks. He is a runner, and he's got a hard strike as well, sometimes wayward in his efforts as he gets his first touch there. But I thought Joey Jertson had a good game.
I did too.
Very good feet in midfield, very attack-minded player. He knows when to settle it down and can unlock a defense as well. But Joey Jertson making a pretty successful return trip to Vancouver.
Well, the Montreal midfield was excellent tonight. De Lorenzo, Jertson, Testo, and Donatelli. And now the fresh legs of Rocco Placentino. Before he signed with Montreal, he told him the date was set for the wedding, a big Italian wedding, 2 years in advance. And then the playoffs game, and couldn't miss that. Although I think his heart was with his team as well. Difficult night, and he was as happy as you could be when they advanced for him to play another day.
So first chance there for Eddie Sabrango, who's very good in the air. He is also Mr. Clutch. I think it was 12 or 13 game-winning goals alone last year as he led the Whitecaps in scoring.
Brown, not a good pass there, looking for Donatelli.
And just going back to Sabrango, he also has a couple of game-winning goals for the Impact this year in the playoffs alone.
This one will go out of play. Well, let's look at the Sprint Turf game summary of Pejic credited with the own goal for Montreal. Haber then the long run in the 55th minute to tie it up. Byers gave the lead back to the Impact in the 62nd minute, only for Marlon James to tie it up again 3 minutes later. Back and forth. And Eduardo Sabrango, Paul, you bring up a good point about him and how he's a guy who ices games. 6 of his 8 playoff goals are game winners. Here's Placentino in the area. Cuts it back. Well defended that time by Vancouver. James. Neville Pizzolito wins it back. Testo still running hard.
He's a different player, David Testo, than a few years ago when he played for the Whitecaps. Much calmer on the ball, controls the tempo of the game. You can see he's very comfortable. Really is the midfield general for the Impact.
Lorenzo gets it out wide to Deroux. On the left, the cut back to the right. The shot that gets past the first.
Yeah, Deroux loves that cutback. That's how they scored the first goal. He's good on the left, but he likes to bring it back on the right and create a different angle for his crosses.
Lorenzo looking for Donatelli. Testo again, this time one of his first turnovers of the night. Moose up to Haber. Both teams taking a little bit of a breather here, more possession style after the flurry of goals.
I think Montreal might be a little tentative here, knowing that when they've gone forward, sure, they've got their goals, but they've been giving them away rather easily as well. So they're probably in two minds as about how to attack this last 15 minutes.
Placentino on the left, whips it in front, can't get it by that first defender. Here's Testo, 40 yards out. Devraz, who's got lots of time. Montreal continues to inch forward, and again Vancouver down the man as we look at another substitution. Mauro Biello, player assistant, ready to come in.
And he replaces Donatelli, and Biello, who has been in this league, it seems, forever.
37-year-old. Bielo, one of the two guys who was on the 94 and 2004 championship teams. Player coach now.
He's played 346 games for the team, and he has seen it all the ups and downs, so he'll be a calming influence on the team for the final 15 minutes or so here.
Leduc, the other player who was on both of those championship teams.
Maybe 8 minutes. I said 15, but it might seem like that for Vancouver, the man down, but they're going to make a change too, the Whitecaps are.
Got an injury down there. Let's send it back down to John Billings on the sideline.
Oh yeah, guys, you know, we saw James making his way into the corner, and you might expect to see the coaching staff all pushing his players forward, saying, everybody get with him. That was not the case. In fact, they're more concerned that everybody's staying compact in the midfield, not getting strung out too much. If Vancouver is going to get a third goal here, it's going to come from an individual effort, and a guy like Randy Edwini-Bonsu with his pace might be the guy to do it. He's set to check in.
Thanks, John. No doubt about it. They are looking for counterattacking soccer. A lot of tired legs out there. That's exactly what we saw on that one run as James had to go 1-on-5. And here is the sub that John just referred to.
Well, John's had a chance to see Randy Edwini-Bonsu play against his Tacoma Tide in the PDL, and he is perhaps one of the best counterattacking players that the Whitecaps have in their lineup. Very quick along the ground. Mentioned he scored the one and only goal in the series against Carolina. And we'll see if he replaces Marcus Haber, who's been running all day long and is back there again.
Still running strong. Theroux is there trying to win it back. Interesting dynamic from the coaches as well. You look at the substitutions for Montreal, bringing in the 36-year-old Sebrango, the 37-year-old Mauro Bielo, and now the speedster, the 19-year-old Edwini-Bonsu, set to check in for Vancouver as they're going with youth and they need the fresh legs. Testo. Di Lorenzo. Early cross in front of Sebrango.
That never really had a chance, just the angle that Sebrango had taken ahead of the front post. Whitecaps closing up shop a little bit better in the back now, although Montreal not really pressing forward. And it's going to be a couple of changes that the Whitecaps make here. They're also going to bring in Taro Burgess, the Bermudan. And he can be a very dangerous forward as well. So perhaps Vancouver, hoping that a good offense is the best defense, that the Impact will have to look after both Edwini-Bonsu and Burgess and not press too much forward.
Burgess, the 23-year-old, hampered by a knee injury this season. And here is Edwini-Bonsu, the 19-year-old, and a big round of applause for the Rookie of the Year, the fan favorite, and the guy that kept Vancouver's championship hopes alive with his long run, Marcus Haber.
Yeah, he's my man of the match for the Whitecaps for sure, not just for the goal, although that really sparked his team to life, but for all the running he did all day long with the Whitecaps a man down, he was really like a man and a half out there.
Probably worth noting, in terms of a two-leg aggregate series, away goals means absolutely nothing. It's most goals that's going to take it 2 games. So while Montreal has done well to get the 2 away from home, doesn't really count. They could definitely use another one here to get all the more confidence going back to Montreal for game 2. And again, using that man advantage, I think Vancouver would be content to get out of here with a tie.
It'll be tough for Vancouver without Martin Ash, but they'll be back to 11 players, of course, to start that game.
Another giveaway in the back, and Theroux didn't see where it was. Hard challenge. There could have been a foul. Saying it was out, throw in for Montreal.
Another one of many contentious decisions here tonight.
Flipped in front, danger right there. Sebrango trying to turn back to Testo. Well read. Looked like it was Moose that got involved.
I don't think Sabrango realized just how much time he had. He probably could have turned on the ball himself but tried to set it up.
Right in front again. Offside on that cross. And there is Eddie Sabrango, 4 goals, 2 assists for 10 points. Second on the team. Cuban scored a goal in the 90th minute in the series against Puerto Rico. Started his career, at least his USL career, in Vancouver. There is Sabrango. Two minutes plus stoppage time for Montreal to try to take the lead for the 3rd time tonight. Pizzolito, Sabrango. No challenge here. Here's Rocco Placentino on the left. Cracks the shot and a big save by Nolly right in front. Sabrango is there and it's a goal! Eddie Sabrango has done it again!
He is unbelievable. Eddie Sabrango again has stepped up and looks to be the winning goal in this match after Rocco Placentino absolutely hammered one from about 30 yards that Jay Nolly could only push up. And I mentioned Placentino had a great strike. Oftentimes it doesn't hit the target, but this time it forced the Vancouver keeper to a good save. But he couldn't parry it over the bar, and he paid for it with Sabrango on the doorstep.
Look at Placentino, torches the shot. Nolly did well and cannot jump up in time. You look at the shots that hit the bar, the ones that Nolly had saved. He kept them in as much as he could, but you cannot deny Eduardo Sabrango, who now, let's go with another potential game-winning goal. 7 of his 9 playoff goals are game winners. Well, you could build a team around this guy, but can Vancouver do it again? Looking to come back. Hard challenge right outside the area, no foul given. Good build up here. Vancouver only comes to life after giving up goals, apparently.
It surely seems that way, and that's not good enough for the Whitecaps. They've really only tested the Montreal keeper on 2 occasions. Scored on both of them.
We're going to have 3 minutes of stoppage time. 3 minutes of stoppage time.
But Eddie Sabrango, once again, he's done it at every level, and he's done it for every team. He's won in Rochester, in Hershey, Vancouver, Montreal. And he's scored in the big games as well. Champions League games as well, in front of 50,000 at Olympic Stadium in Montreal.
Amazing.
Last year's run.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The amazing thing is you talk about, you brought up a great point about how he's the most fit. And it's not like his career has been immune to injuries. He's battled injuries, and he keeps coming back, and he keeps coming back stronger. And sure, he can't go 90 minutes, but you need guys who can close games like he just did.
Yeah, the Impact always have that ace up their sleeves, especially now with him coming off the bench rather than starting.
A third of the way through stoppage time. This would be an enormous leg one for Montreal if this scoreline remains. You squandered 2 leads. And this could be a foul play on. Right in front, the turn, the shot, far post, and that goes wide.
You said it, Steve. They only come to life when they've been scored on, and Marlon James almost equalizes there. His right-footed shot just had enough curl away from the post. And Montreal, perhaps fortunate, despite having the man advantage for almost this entire half and having the lead on 3 occasions, not to give it up again.
Fantastic turn from James. Had to go far post as Jordan was there. The good call by the play on, not whistling the foul, and boy, that get much closer. Again, the crowd asking for a foul there. I think that was a great play on advantage. Well used and good look, but could not tie it up. Mr. Moose has brought a little level of energy since he's been subbed on as well.
As I look in front of us here, Steve, I see a bunch of the security guys getting ready to run out onto the field. I think the Whitecap fans will have something to say to the officials after this match, although as I see the replays, and I think you'd agree, I think she's done a decent job. The sending off from Ash, while certainly he'd be disappointed, I don't think was the wrong call. In fact, I think she got it right. She was a yard away, and that didn't really change the game in a negative way for Vancouver, did it?
I agree. You know, you look at the fans' frustration level, more often than not will go towards the referee, but that was not the game decider right here. I mean, there have been some big calls, but Vancouver did not play anywhere near a 90-minute game and could be very fortunate to only get out with one, as Roberto Brown forgot the ball deep in the corner, and Zabrango is going to be whistled for the foul as we've gone 25 seconds past the 3 minutes of stoppage time in this one.
I'm sure this will be the last kick here, and yes, the Whitecaps are down 3-2 going to Montreal, but probably could have been a lot worse considering how long they've been playing a man down.
One off the post, big saves by Nolly, and that is it. Leg one is in the books, the Montreal Impact. How about this? 3 road goals to come in and dominate at times over the Vancouver Whitecaps, but give credit to a couple individual performances going forward and cutting the lead a couple times, tying it up, but in the end, this man right here, Eddie Zabrango, scored another game winner.
And he seems to do it all the time. We mentioned before that he has so many different game-winning goals for so many different teams on different occasions, and he comes through again. Placentino's hard shot, not really dealt with by Nolly, and Eddie Zabrango, Johnny on the spot.
Wherever he goes, he helps that team get to the championship, and he's got his side up 1 through the first game. We'll be back with plenty more right after this.
You're not gonna believe this.
What's better than this?
Better than this.
Or this?
What is it?
Having all this for free. Really? Okay.
Thanks. Very well.
Action and Showcase Diva.
2 addictive movie channels free all this month.
Okay.
Action and Showcase Diva.
Free preview on all this month.
Carl, don't you have friends coming over?
Yeah, so?
Oh, have you smelled this chair? Or these curtains? You've got to wash this whole room.
Are you kidding? Wash it?
Whatever you can't wash, we can now freshen with Febreze.
Whoa! Febreze Fabric Refresher eliminates odors and leaves a fresh scent.
Hey, Mrs. Weber. Wow, fresh.
Yeah. Febreze. Freshness for what you can't wash.
Want to play like a casino VIP? JackpotCity.net free online casino will teach you how. Learn to bring the house down using our perfect strategy feature. Enjoy hours of entertainment on our award-winning slots, featuring famous brands like Tomb Raider and the Osbournes. Plus, you'll find a huge variety of roulette, blackjack, and video poker games to play. Visit JackpotCity.net and live it up like a VIP. JackpotCity.net free online casino. Learn to play to win.
Troy! Big-time players make big-time plays. Talk about that fourth quarter interception.
Well, I owe my gray hair to Head and Shoulders for more than just flakes.
Right, no, I want to know about the game-winning interception.
Head and Shoulders does 7 things for my scalp and hair.
Didn't ask about your hair, Troy.
You asked with your eyes, Trent. You asked with your eyes.
Head and Shoulders, 7 benefits, 1 bottle. Recommended by the Dermatology Review Panel.
Cindy, have you seen my electric razor?
You tried the bathroom?
Hey, do you know what my black dress shoes are?
They're not in the closet? Have you seen my wallet?
Nope.
you looking for new friends or hot singles in Canada? Try dating on your cell phone. Simply text your postal code to 78887 and get connected with singles in your area today. What are you waiting for? Text your postal code to 78887 and get connected today. It's quick, it's easy, and it's fun. TextDating.ca. This is a mobdesk.com service. You must be 18 years of age or older. A premium charge of $1.50 Canadian per message sent. To cancel, send stock to 78887.
Fox Sports World Canada.
Welcome back to Vancouver. Game 1 is in the books. The road team has won it. Montreal Impact taking a leg 1 by a score of 3-2. Montreal Impact taking game 1 over the Vancouver Whitecaps. Big surprise. Steve Bell joined with Paul Dolan here for the post game. A lot of surprises, but 5 goals in a game that Montreal really controlled from the start.
Yeah, I think the Whitecaps will actually be happy to only be down a goal as they go into Montreal based on their performance tonight.
We're going to go down to the field level to the guy that we've been talking all about. Eduardo Zabrango is with John Billings.
Yeah, that's right. Eddie Zabrango scored a big goal for the Whitecaps in 2006 against these Impact. Now playing for Montreal, the massive goal at the end. What does it mean to your team?
Oh, it means a lot. You know, it was a 2-2 game. They are playing really well. We knew it's not going to be easy, and you know, to get the third goal is big. But you know, it's only half a game played. You know, we still have to play another game, and you know, they're a good team. I think they're going to come there, and they're going to come hard. They're going to be excited, and I think it's going to be a great final.
Now, a little bit of a scrappy goal, but they count no matter what. Tell us about the goal. How did it happen?
It was usually we got the ball wide to Rocco, and I was screaming for the cross, and but I know him. I know he likes to shoot hard, and he hit the ball really well. It was hard for Nolly to handle, and you know, I anticipated the defenders, and I was there first, and like you say, it's very easy to put it in.
Now, a good crowd here, but we know it's going to be a fantastic crowd in Montreal. 1 week away. I know it just happened here, but already thinking forward to next week. What do you guys have on the horizon?
Well, it's going to be a big party, you know, especially after this game. You know, people were able to watch, and 3-2 is excited for the fans. It's an open game, and you know, Montreal, the people are really excited. It's a beautiful stadium, and you know, it doesn't get any better in the league.
Well, congrats once again, and one guy who really knows about this rivalry, guys. There's a few players like that in this. Let's head back upstairs.
Thanks, John. You heard Eduardo Zabrango right there. He knows Rocco likes to shoot, but he was anticipating, and that made all the difference.
That's the key word, anticipate. That's what a good goal scorer, it goes to the net knowing what's going to happen next. And Eddie Zabrango is a predator. He launched into that area, got up first, Nolly was down, and he beat the defender to it. Montreal wins the game.
9 playoff goals for Eduardo Zabrango. 7 of those are game winners. Stay with us. Plenty more to come here in the post game from the USL Championship.
The pressure, intense. The pain, excruciating. The action, better than ever. Fox Sports World brings you top matches from across the globe. Plus, witness the phenomenon as soccer scores here at home. Fox Sports World Canada.
Hi, I'm Amy. I have a husband and 2 boys. That is 3 guys and a lot of laundry. I was given the Bounce dryer bar, asked to use it, and answer a few questions. I noticed it was the original Bounce smell, which was so great because it's clean and fresh, and it's just really light, and I just love it. To install the Bounce dryer bar was so easy. Just stick it and forget it. You don't have to remember the dryer sheet now. It's one more thing I don't have to think about, so I can, you know, wonder what my boys are up to. It's made all the difference in my laundry. I love it.
Troy! Big-time players make big-time plays. Talk about that fourth-quarter interception.
Well, I owe my gray hair to Head and Shoulders for more than just flakes.
Right. No, I want to know about the game-winning interception.
Head and Shoulders does 7 things for my scalp and hair.
Didn't ask about your hair, Troy.
You asked with your eyes, Trent. You asked with your eyes.
Head and Shoulders. 7 benefits, 1 bottle. Recommended by the Dermatology Review Panel.
Cindy, have you seen my electric razor?
You tried the bathroom?
Hey, do you know what my black dress shoes are?
They're not in the closet?
Have you seen my wallet?
Nope.
Are you looking for new friends or hot singles in Canada? Try dating on your cell phone. Simply text your postal code to 78887 and get connected with singles in your area today. What are you waiting for? Text your postal code to 78887 and get connected today. It's quick, it's easy, and it's fun. TextDating.ca. This is a mobdesk.com service. You must be 18 years of age or older. A premium charge of $1.50 Canadian per message sent. To cancel, send stop to 78887.
The pressure, intense. The pain, excruciating. The action, better than ever. Fox Sports World brings you top matches from across the globe. Plus, witness the phenomenon as soccer scores here at home. Fox Sports World Canada. Fox Sports World Canada.
Welcome back to Vancouver. The first leg is in the books. What a night. The Montreal Impact 3-2 winners over the Whitecaps. Let's send it down to John Billings.
Thanks, guys. Here with really the man of the hour for the Whitecaps as far as things are concerned. A fantastic goal and a fantastic night. How about the crowd and the environment to play in this championship game tonight?
Well, Swangard's always a great stadium to play at, and we have great fans, and it just showed tonight that the support was very electric, and it felt great to play at home.
Now tell us about the goal a little bit. An individual effort, sometimes it has to happen. You took it nearly the whole way.
Well, yeah, we were down a man, and I was kind of just dropping in that hole there behind Marlon, and I got the ball with a lot of space, and I looked up, and there wasn't really anyone to combine with, so I just thought I'd had to go at their defense, and I was able to catch a little gap in between them, and just cut in, looked up, and just saw the corner, and I'm happy I went in.
Well, not necessarily a loss here. With still 90 minutes left to go. Well done tonight, and good luck next week, guys. Let's head right back up.
Thanks. Not much went right for the Vancouver Whitecaps in this first game, but Haber, a few bright spots.
Yeah, he'll be an integral part of the Whitecap attack and defense, quite frankly, in Montreal. They need to get a goal there to level the series, perhaps score again in regulation, if not in overtime, but he'll be a key player both ways for them.
Yeah, without Nash in leg two, look for the rookie Marcus Haber to be a big part of their run in leg two. We'll be back right after this on Fox Soccer Channel.
These are the faces you want to meet. These are the friends you live for. These are the times when we reminisce and we get together and we do our best. Let's live the good times now. 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 We live for tomorrow, we live for today.
Live right. Learn how.
Hi, I'm Amy. I have a husband and 2 boys. That is 3 guys and a lot of laundry. I was given the Bounce dryer bar, asked to use it, and answer a few questions. I noticed it was the original Bounce smell, which was so great because it's clean and fresh and it's just really light, and I just love it. To install the Bounce dryer bar was so easy. Just stick it and forget it. You don't have to remember the dryer sheet now. It's one more thing I don't have to think about, so I can, wonder what my boys are up to. It's made all the difference in my laundry. I love it.
Here's a question. Is your hair color perfect 10? Does it drip or comb through root to tip? Does the process feel endless or a 10-minute express? Does it disrespect your hair or better protect it? Are your grays a fright or out of sight? Bottom line, is your hair color the glossy, gorgeous perfection you've always dreamed of? If it is, then it has to be Perfect 10 by Nice and Easy, the color that changes everything. From Clairol.
It's really hot out, and that beret is really not hot.
I am all roots and no time. I gotta run.
No! Ooh,
that's impressive.
Did you know you can easily touch up your roots without a salon? Ta-da! Root Touch-Up, specially designed for roots or grays that pop up between regular colorings. In 10 minutes, you're flawlessly matched and completely fresh.
I feel so much better.
Live with roots or get a boost. Root Touch-Up by Nice and Easy. You're a right color.
of uncompromising men. Welcome to the Wiserhood.
I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that.
There's a smarter, cooler way to get your clothes brilliantly clean. And it's a turn for the better. Tide Cold Water. It's specially formulated to clean in cold, which can save you cash. And that's cool.
I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that.
Tide Cold Water. Get out of the old and into the cold.
Cool like that.
Fox Sports World Canada.
Fox Football Phone-In Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live with Nick Webster and Eric Winala. That is on FSC. Welcome back to Vancouver. The final score in this one, the Montreal Impact 3, the Vancouver Whitecaps 2. You look at the entire season for the Montreal Impact, their longest win streak was 3. They've won 5 in a row in the playoffs. Let's go down to the field for their head coach.
Well, guys, the man who's up after 90 minutes, his squad, Mark Dos Santos. Hey, a fun one to watch, but what was this like with the coach's perspective?
No, it's an excellent game for the fans, excellent game for the crowd, good show, but not good for coaches. You know, it's tough. It's tough on the bench. It's tough to deal with every situation, but great show tonight.
Well, the job halfway done. Good luck in Montreal, guys. One more time. Let's head back up after a little bit of an exhausted coach down here on the field.
One away from winning the championship for the Montreal Impact.
The pressure, intense. The pain, excruciating. The action, better than ever. Fox Sports World brings you top matches from across the globe. Plus, witness the phenomenon as soccer scores here at home. Fox Sports World Canada.
I love to write. When I was a kid, it was my private secret journal. Now it's writing lyrics for my songs. I'm not your girlfriend. But it all began with reading. I'm proud to support the CanWest Raise a Reader campaign. Partial proceeds from my fall tour will go to support family literacy projects in your community. I'll see you soon. Together, let's help make Canada well-read.
Troy! Big-time players make big-time plays. Talk about that fourth quarter interception.
Well, I owe my gray hair to Head & Shoulders for more than just flakes.
Right, no, I want to know about the game-winning interception.
Head & Shoulders does 7 things for my scalp and hair.
Didn't ask about your hair, Troy.
You asked with your eyes, Trent. You asked with your eyes.
Head & Shoulders, 7 benefits, 1 bottle. Recommended by the Dermatology Review Panel.
Swiffer 360 Dusters cleans dust and allergens so deeply, you'll send your old feather duster packing. Swiffer 360 Dusters cleans deep into hard-to-reach places. It reduces up to 75% of allergens that feather dusters can leave behind. The thick all-around fibers trap and lock on contact to clean better. Swiffer gives cleaning a deep new meaning. New Swiffer Wet Mopping Cloths clean so deep, it's like your old mop's worst nightmare.
Love stinks.
Swiffer Wet Cloths clean better than a mop, with new cleansers that attract dirt deep into the cloth and lock it away. New Swiffer Wet Cloths clean better or your money back. And to clean and condition your wood, look for Swiffer Dust and Shine.
Carl, don't you have friends coming over?
Yeah, so?
Oh, have you smelled this chair? Or these curtains? You've got to wash this whole room.
Are you kidding? Wash it?
Whatever you can't wash, we can now freshen with Febreze.
Whoa! Febreze Fabric Refresher eliminates odors and leaves a fresh scent.
Hey, Mrs. Weber. Wow, fresh.
Yeah. Febreze. Freshness for what you can't wash.
Fox Sports World Canada.
Welcome back to Vancouver. The first leg in the books with the Impact winning 3-2. Montreal swept the season series. 3 games, 3 wins for Montreal. Let's continue that through the postseason, but it's not done yet, is it?
No, everything hangs in the balance, and that's what's exciting about a 2-game series. It's not over yet. You know, the Whitecaps are down a goal, but they'll be back a man, all equal at 11 as we start next.